You ready? All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Rachel? Here. Katie? Here. Sarah? Here. Jeff Cornell?
Here.
James?
Here.
Carrie? Here. Jeff Weaver?
Here. All right, if everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be begun by the Gaylord Middle School Student Council, and then we'll remain standing for a moment of silence for armed services personnel.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Somerville, will you introduce us to your council?
So the good news is we got another, for the high school anyway, we got another great group of 8th graders this year, for them next year. And so we have Mila Montgomery and Claire Kraniak and Chloe, she's like in charge, you know. Chloe Bennett, she keeps these guys in line. Gavin O'Rourke and Colin Berlin and Zach Hyde. And so Colin's our vice president,
I'm the secretary.
and, but Colin's our 7th grader. And so yeah, they played a big role in our Veterans Day Assembly and our Kiwanis food drive. We've had a dance, planning another one. We do some spirit days. We're gonna start planning for our Winter Olympics. You know, just kind of break up the winter. So we keep them pretty busy, and we had a good group. So, you guys want to shake hands?
Did you guys have to run for office?
The officers ran for the entire school, so everybody in the school had a vote for the officers, which there's 5 of us. And then for the representatives, there's 1 of them for each seminar class, and there was a vote in each individual seminar for that.
Very good.
Wow. Good for you guys.
Quite a campaign.
It was.
Chloe, I feel like you should have talked instead of Mr. Simon.
Chloe was the best, though, so she ended up, she's our president, but I know her counterpart that was running, they're friends, and she brought him coffee in the morning before and helped with the speech. So, yeah, she's wonderful. We got a great group.
Are you going to continue in high school to run for an office?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. We appreciate your leadership.
Yeah, good deal. Thank you for coming in and leading us in the pledge.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome.
You guys got
Shake your hands.
Liver pet.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thanks for all that you're doing up at the middle school.
Good job. Thank you for
Good job. Good to see you guys. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Madam President.
Good to see you.
How are you for coming?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good job. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Oh, are we standing? Standing.
Let's kind of rotate around to get the board. Oh my
Actually, you go right in front of us.
Go in front of us.
You're right in front
You
of us.
don't need to see us, it's okay. You guys record.
Squishy. Joe, why don't you jump in, Joe? Oh, you're good, Joe.
I'm tall.
Okay, ready? Gotcha.
All right, thank you. If you guys want, you can head out. Please grab a plate of food, goodies back
snacks.
there. You're welcome to stay if you want. Pick out your spot in the future here.
Yeah.
Sorry, if we gotta take going on the outside, because he's feeling a little, inferior.
All right. I have them at the bottom, but it might be better to.
Okay.
Okay.
We should have given him my boots. I got a little heel on my boots.
No.
All right. Are there any items to be added or changed to the agenda?
There is not.
All right. We're gonna, the Culinary Arts, for those of you that didn't grab some food, they're here. Mrs. Korf would introduce them to us, to the whole crowd, and tell us a little bit about what they do. And then anybody on your way out, there's a lot of food there. Please help yourself. Take a plate home.
Take a plate.
These kids worked long and hard to do this for us.
I have Kenzie Boron, I have Ren Nollinger, and I have Erica Clayton. And these 3, along with Ezra, who had to leave early to go spend some time with his dad. So these 4 kids show up to just about everything, and they just love doing this. And I think I've made some converts to the restaurant industry. But they did a really good job. We have 26 students in the class who put all that together for you guys out there. We really hope you enjoy it. And again, we really appreciate everything that you guys do for our school in making it the best that it can be. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I haven't had any desserts yet.
Thanks for all your help today. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, it was amazing.
Thank you for the job.
It was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you, good job. Thank you, so good.
Do you want me to squat down a little bit? Does that make you feel better?
Try not to be in the way. Good job.
Oh, that's perfect, the way you lined up.
Yeah.
They're missing one.
No, he said he had to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we have a thank you letter to the RSVP members for their generous donation of blankets and hats for the McKinney Vento program. Commander's Award recognition from the United States Marine Corps Reserve to Gaylord Community Schools for their outstanding support of the Otsego County Toys for Tots program. We have a thank you letter to the Friends of the Community of Christ from South Maple Elementary for their donation of children's clothing. And now we move on to recognitions and acknowledgement personnel. We have new hires. And we have, here we go. Gaylord High School Secretary Melissa McKay, Educational Assistant Rosemarie Davis, Elementary Teacher Julie Heinz, Bus Driver Mark Wildman. Gaylord High School Varsity Softball Head Coach Ron Mogenberg. And it's my understanding we do have some of our new employees here for recognition. You may.
You gotta do it again.
I promised her I would talk to.
Is Julie qualified?
Over here. Okay. Creature of habit. Can't stand it. We're excited, Ms. Parker could not be here this evening, and so I'm excited to introduce Julie Heinz, reintroduce her as a rehire. We are lucky enough to have her come in and cover a classroom and teach this fall in third grade, and as staffing worked out, she just happened to fall in love with it all over again.
Yes, there you go.
And is staying on as a third grade teacher at South Maple. She is an MSU graduate, and she has over 30+ years of experience teaching at Gaylord Community Schools, so we're so lucky to have her here.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Kindergarten. Okay. I did kindergarten, thank you. Thank you.
So good to have you back.
We weren't here for the first.
That's what Dave said you were doing
Welcome
sippy
back.
cups, probably. Thank you.
Both my girls.
Is she?
Great teacher.
Awesome.
Excited. She's very well respected.
Do we have any other, no other introductions?
Both of them.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I think she might have.
we'll move on to resignations.
I think she did.
We have resignations from the Gaylord High School Principal, Chris Hodges, effective April 30th, 2024. Food Service Manager, Erica Reynolds. Gaylord High School Varsity Wrestling Head Coach, Jerry LaJoy, effective May 4th, 2024. Gaylord High School Varsity Swim Head Coach, Michelle Davis. And Gaylord High School Assistant Football Coach, Jeff Pretzloff. And I think most of those resignations or acknowledgements will be at a later date. Board Appreciation Month, we've went over that the food was prepared by the Gaylord Culinary Arts. So do we have any public input at this time? Consent agenda. Board minutes. From January 4th, 2024, special board meeting minutes. Treasurer's report, we have general fund and athletic fund bills in the amount of $3.6 million. Cafeteria fund bills in the amount of $104,000. Sinking fund bills in the amount of $155,000. And prior period adjustments in the amount of $0. That is the end of the consent agenda.
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any questions on the consent agenda?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jeff Gorno,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff Weaver.
Yes. New and unfinished business. North Ohio Elementary Principal. It is recommended that the board approve the hiring of Celeste Schiffer, North Ohio Elementary Principal, as presented.
Make a motion to hire Celeste as our North Ohio principal.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Okay.
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jeff Gorno,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff Weaver.
Yes.
She can
And
talk, she's here.
who is going to make the introduction? Mr. Craycraft, are you?
Sure.
Celeste, please come up.
Celeste Schiffer, come on down.
I was gonna have to come up front.
Oh, boy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to introduce Celeste Schiffer. She is our new principal officially tonight of North Ohio Elementary School. She's worked in my Osable district for the last, how many years?
Since 15.
Since 2015, and is currently a principal there, and we feel very fortunate to have her joining our administrative team here. So welcome, and I'll have you introduce yourself to the board.
Thank you. I'm excited, very excited to be here.
Board, thank you for coming.
My students there
Celeste,
too.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Oh, wrong one. SEAB application. It is recommended the board approve the SEAB application as presented.
I make a motion to approve the MASB application as presented.
I'll second it.
Do we have any questions on that? It was what Mr. Keck reviewed. Did you have anybody reach out to you with any?
Yep, I did. I had two. Do you want me to talk about it, or?
Sure.
Yes, please.
So Rachel brought up a good question. She emailed on Friday, I believe, and I got back to her this morning. Just so everybody's aware, the law states that we have to stress abstinence in any sex ed program that we have. Currently, we are an abstinence-based, not abstinence-only. That's our current. So Rachel suggested we add a question in there about thoughts on the law pertaining to the abstinence part of that law. I don't know if there is one. I could talk to our consultant again and add that if the board seems appropriate. Or I thought about it today, Rachel, we could put a statement in there that says currently Gaylord Schools is abstinence-based. This is what the law says. I'm not sure if that would be acceptable.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just so there's some awareness that that is the law.
Sure.
And that's what we need to comply with.
Maybe we can attach, so the way the surveys work is we send out a message beforehand explaining the survey, here's a survey, we can attach the law rate to it and we can highlight that part.
Okay.
The second thing, Sarah called me today, had a great question, because I thought the same exact thing. When we think of school rubrics, I give her example of English class, you have to write a paper, there's 10 questions, and then when you grade that paper, there's a rubric that scores each question. This was not set up that way. When I first looked at it, I said, where's the connection? There's more questions on the survey than the rubric. But when I looked at it, and Sarah and I talked today, it doesn't rubric each question, it rubrics your thoughts on the culmination of it. So Sarah and I talked about today, I don't know if you wanna expand that rubric, or if you're satisfied, we can go either way.
I'm okay with it as long as whoever's grading it is understands that too. Just don't want the confusion,
Yeah,
you know, when you're
and so,
looking at it.
and Sarah and I talked today, it'll be, when this approves, we'll put it out, we'll get the results back in, and again, I've offered, I'll help us coordinate, sort through the data, we'll look through it, and a reminder, according to new legislation, it's the sole responsibility of the Board of Education to sort through those using the rubric and choose the members of that board, and it's the totality of the board, everybody has a responsibility to do that.
So how will it actually be put out, the survey? Because there is the component of local pastors or clergy being on it, so how will they get the survey? How does that work?
So that's a great question. I think where we start, let me go back to historically, we have relationships with certain organizations, churches in town. And I'm just offering a suggestion. I want, you guys guide me a little bit. The suggestion from Helen, our consultant, was the same way we do a survey on how we use funds. So we sent out 2 surveys this past month on how to use funds to our school community families. We'll send the survey out that way, and then, I agree with you, how do we get it to clergy? I think it would be appropriate at that point to identify from the board, local clergy members. You might know more than I do. I know Pastor Dissler, but there's more.
And Pastor Dissler might be a good source for there. A lot of towns have ecumenical groups of all, that meet regularly for coffee, and that might be, he could give us some guidance on how to get that permission.
Pastor Dissler has a group of all the pastors in town that meet regularly,
Perfect.
so.
That-
And
I'm
we
sure.
can provide them with that, survey. But that's a good question.
And then, so we're voting, just to be clear, we're voting first on the survey and then on the rubric?
I would say it's together.
They're separate on our.
Oh, they're separate on
yes.
that? I apologize,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So
Okay.
I just had a question on the rubric, I don't know if you,
Well, we'll get to the.
yeah, we'll wait
next-
till
yeah.
that then, okay.
Okay.
So it just so this is just an application if you want to be on that board. No decisions are made, nobody's put on the board, it's just,
Yep.
do you wanna be on the board?
What's your interest? It has some questions, and I added a line that says, because sometimes it's in a survey, people will fill it out when they have zero interest in applying, and I highlighted bold, if you are not interested in participating on this committee, you do not have to do the survey, because we're getting a lot of feedback. I mean, our last survey, we had 900 some responses. We don't wanna sift through 900 responses on this one, so this is just a survey to gauge interest, and provide some initial information to the board.
Any other questions?
I just wanna say, I know Pastor Scott used to be part of a group like that, but now it's been a couple years, so.
We'll do some
but,
research.
Yeah, if
So
you
the
reach out to
last-
him
oh,
or
I'm
Brian
sure he-
Switowski, his
At our last
administrator,
meeting
they
was,
can, yeah.
Newell Sarac was on the
Yeah.
committee.
I'm sure they know how
Yeah.
to get in touch with each other.
Mhm.
Okay?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes,
Jeff Gorno.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Carrie.
Yes.
Jeff Weaver.
Yes, motion carries. All right, now the SEAB application rubric. It is recommended the board approve the SEAB application rubric as presented. So Rachel, did you have a question on
I
the
do
rubric?
have a question, just on the rubric. So in the box where it talks about the definition, so it says the definition will be the guide for the committee, and making the recommendations to the school board. And then it says basically what the mission statement is, I guess, of the committee, which is a little bit different than what the law says. And I feel like I'm looking at this just from my lens, which is I feel like we should stick as closely to what the law says as possible to avoid, people have very strong opinions on this, and I feel like the closer we stick to the law, the easier it will be to avoid, problems. And I don't know if you want me to point that out, I don't know if you guys
Please.
okay,
Yeah.
so it says, so the committee this would be their charge. Sexuality education provides knowledge and skills which empower students to make responsible decisions regarding the mental, emotional, social, physical, legal, and financial aspects of human sexuality. So the law says that instruction in sex education, including family planning, human sexuality, and the emotional, physical, psychological, hygienic, economic, and social aspects of family life. So it's nuanced, but this says family life, and this says at the end, aspects of human sexuality, which I feel like is a little bit opening the door to going into other areas, and because people have very strong opinions on both sides of this issue, I feel the closer we can stick to what the law actually says, the better it will be.
Yeah,
Is there-
so remember, the only people that will see this rubric are you, the school board, myself, and Jim. So if you wanna change the wording on the rubric, I don't see that as inappropriate whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
All board members okay with that change? Dennis, you,
Yep, so Rachel, if you could scratch out and change it on there, be the English teacher, I'll get you a red pen,
Okay,
and then give it back to me, and I'll change the rubric and I'll kick it back out with that. If everybody's and okay with that.
I would just recite exactly what's in the law.
Yep, fair enough.
I'll disagree. So you have a motion though
You
you put a motion out for this.
Nobody motioned though, she,
Yeah,
But-
no one made, no one
He
made.
Oh, no,
recommended.
yeah, we didn't
never
go into a
motioned.
motion, did we? No, okay.
No.
No.
So I would motion that we accept the rubric as it is with the change that Rachel has suggested.
I will second that.
Any other questions on that? Cindy?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Gorno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Motion carries.
Can I ask something, Mr. Weaver? So with that, so now it's approved, the recommendation for our goals from Helen was to have this, SEAB by March. We can have this survey out by tomorrow if you choose, but I'd like a little bit of guidance. When do you want it out? How long do you want it out for? And then, I think as a group, you need to decide when's gonna be the time that you're gonna come together, and we might have to have a workshop or something to review. I don't know how that,
We only have, and I'm also thinking about coordinating that with other surveys, because people get over-surveyed. And I know that our goal in January is to get a survey to high school families and students regarding our vacancy at the high school. I think we can get that out and done in January, but that's just the high school. So this goes to the whole district, so I don't think there's a conflict there. It's whenever you want it.
I'd like some guidance from the board. When would you like this to go out, and how long would you like it to be out for?
What is standard length of time to keep a survey out there?
Well, so the past couple surveys that we've done have been grant-related, where there's deadlines on the grant, meaning I have to have data before I can submit the grant. And these grants have come out pretty quick, so we've typically done a week. Other surveys will do 2 weeks. I would probably say no more than 2, no less than 1.
I'd say 1, you do 2, people are gonna push it off until the 2, so.
The longer you give them, the more they put
Or
it
it's
off.
like it falls off, they forget to do it.
Right. Make it more urgency of doing it.
If we had it done out, we'll say it's a 1 week and we had it out and you got it back and we had it at our next workshop, would that be sufficient time?
Absolutely. The results, the way we do the surveys through Google Form is live. As they come in, I can see the results. And then what I would do at the end, when we close it, I can get a different data set and I will put all that data together and present it to you at your workshop. And then we can start the rubric work.
So-
Can you put the 2 surveys together? Like the other one for the high schoolers?
No, I don't,
No?
no,
Okay.
I don't.
Didn't know if you
I
could put
don't
on the
wanna
same
call-
email and, hey, do
No,
both.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think they gotta be separate. One's going out to the whole, everyone,
Yeah.
and then the high school's getting.
Okay.
So if you.
2 weeks might be better, especially if we're trying to get clergy involved.
I was
And,
gonna
and
go
we're,
But
yeah,
are we
2
just, are we
weeks.
talking just,
Yeah.
are we just talking?
And they're
By the
mailing
time they
them,
connect and like
and they're mailing them back.
meet
Email.
up.
No,
Or email, it's all.
Just the email going out, right? Not,
Yeah.
So what'll
yeah, so the
happen,
clergy would be after, right?
Well,
Or we're
unless
doing
they
that.
happen to get it, I mean, there's plenty of them that are.
yeah.
Well, if they
Yeah, they do.
communicate how they
Well, if we're not gonna do anything until the next
connect,
meeting anyway.
like
we
if they have a
can keep it
group
open
with all
Is
their
there such a
emails.
thing to do like a blast ahead of time before the survey comes out?
Like a heads up?
Yeah,
We can
so
put
it's
it in our
gonna be coming out
newsletters.
next week,
That's
it's
a
a
great idea.
1 week window and we need your
Yeah.
response, a timely response.
Good suggestion.
How about
We're gonna
this?
go back to 1 week then, or?
I was thinking 2 weeks, but
What if we do this?
If
I
we do-
think, I guess help and principals, when do your, typically your building newsletters go out?
Last week.
Last.
So when's the next one go out?
Too late.
So, I like your thinking, but if we wanna get this done, like I said, typically, we'll draft a short letter, note, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. I could send that out first, or we could just do it in one, I mean, it's.
That I think you combined,
Yeah.
and they got it. They're not looking for it.
so do you think 2 weeks or 1 week better?
Well, if we can't get the, yeah, if we can't get the data, or we're not gonna have the data until the next meeting and all that, so
2 weeks?
we have, yeah, we have
It
time.
really doesn't matter.
That's
We're trying to
better.
push it through, but we're not really.
Yeah,
I say 2 weeks, just to
So I
let,
got a month.
So if you put it out on the 15th, which is next Monday, that will give you time to contact clergy to get their information. I'm more asking the question,
Yeah.
do you feel comfortable with
yeah.
that?
Can I ask not on the 15th, because that's our district-wide PD day, and I'll be running
16th?
all over.
No, 15th.
Or,
Well, you can come in on the 14th and
James
do
says
it.
the 15th, it's going out on the 18th.
16th, it's
But
irrelevant.
if he's not gonna be in the office all day on Monday, he's not gonna have any more time on Tuesday.
No, I'll get
get
it
it done by
because
Okay.
I've already got it in a Google form, that's what I
Oh.
shared with you. It's basically drafting the letter and setting it up to get out to the community. How about this? I kick it out the 16th, we close it on the 26th, which is a
That's what I
day
was saying,
shy.
yeah, of 2
A
weeks.
day shy of 2 weeks. And then I will also, any input you have on clergy, like I said, I know Scott and I know a couple others, but any input there, shoot me an email or Jim an email and I will get it out to that group.
I'll call Scott tomorrow.
So we'll run it the 16th through the 26th.
Is everybody okay with that?
10 days, good.
And how are you sending it out via email, snail mail, like? I
No,
just-
it'll go, so we have our system, it'll go text, email,
Okay,
that type of communication.
okay.
And it'll be digital, so you'll get a
Through a-
text or an email, you click on the link and do the survey.
Through a Google Doc, yeah, you don't have to, it just automatically goes into your tabulation.
Yep.
Okay?
So the email will say to see the text will say see your email
Yeah.
or
That makes
message
sense.
or the website.
Mhm.
And then before they go any further, Kaylee can send the front page. So click it before you go any further.
Okay, he said something about put it in the mail or something, I'm like, wait, we still use snail mail?
No, email, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mail is now, just.
That's, yeah.
All right, any other questions on the survey? Okay, we have no public input, correct? And one more for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Cornell?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. All right, thank you all for coming. Go home and watch the football game. Go Blue.